So, sorry about the not great quality of this particular clip right here, but I can't record with my phone and show you something on my phone at the same time, and I can't figure out how to get this off Snapchat, and unfortunately it happened while I was recording on Snapchat. So, I'll show it to you like this, and hope that my mic and my webcam will record it adequately enough.
Offer you my socks, but is that your real socks? I got socks. You can have, you don't got socks, but you can have my socks. It's all good. I appreciate it. I got some. All right. Rocking that beer, rocking. Well, I give me my socks and just wear my boots. Yeah, I like living like this. We don't get many days like this in February. It's warming up. Oh yeah, it's like 12 degrees. Thanks.
So, it's a little jarring to a lot of people, I know, when they first see me, but no, I live barefoot as much as I possibly can, and as you can see, hopefully from that clip, Buddy offered to take off his boots and socks, give me the socks, and keep wearing his boots the rest of the day. Also, I had one sign that didn't quite make it into the sign montage, so I'll show you that first too, before we start getting right into the speeches.
Can I see your sign? Thanks.
A scheduled speaker, but I gotta kind of hold the fort here right now because there's a lot of moving parts that happened today. As you all know, we were supposed to be at Peace and Friendship Park, but we had to change locations very last second, and it kind of created a loophole. I'm known as a sailing DJ on TikTok, and this has absolutely impacted my career in this city. So I was in Ottawa 2 weeks ago. I went up with the East Convoy to Ottawa, and man, oh man, it was just like this up there. What the mainstream media wants to tell you is not actually what's going on in Ottawa. If you guys follow social medias and stuff, you're seeing the raw footage. I actually used 22 gigs of data while I was up there streaming live while I was there. Here's a little story that happened to us in Ottawa. We had an Airbnb booked. That Airbnb turned around and did not agree with the reason we were in Ontario, and they said we were not welcome to their province. The owner of the Airbnb charged into our apartment and demanded to see our QR code passes. We said absolutely not. We do not have to disclose that. That is our medical information. One of the gentlemen that was traveling with us is a war vet. He was grabbed and drug out of the Airbnb. All right? No word, we got it all on video and we filed it with Airbnb. I went on TikTok and I told my story on TikTok, and a family came out and said, you guys are welcome to our home. They gave us their address and we all went to their house. An amazing family from Bulgaria took us in, a vegan family. I'm not vegan at all, but I learned the vegan food very, very quickly, and man, it was good, I have to admit. So that was a really big eye-opener for me, right? Like at first I was like, oh, I'm really scared because, you know, how are people going to take us? But after that, it was just all love and freedom for us up in Ottawa.
Freedom for everyone!
That is not cool. I actually have respect for that guy. Maybe because he had a bad past. I have a bad past. So, anyway, all they need is loves, hugs, and freedom! We guess we have a massive convoy still being blocked on Barrington Street. You guys, you know, you got your word out. It's appreciated. We look at all sides, all opinions. We do not discriminate. We're not here to force people to make a decision whether you get vaccinated or not. That is your choice. And that's the way it should be. It should be your choice whether you wear a mask. This isn't about right or wrong. This is about choice. I'm going to give you guys another song while we round up some people to have a conversation with you guys.
How we doing? How we doing, everybody? Woo! Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I just got to say, absolute pleasure to be out here with you. It's a beautiful, beautiful sight, and I'm so happy to be here. It's unbelievable. My name is Noah Goucher, as my very kind introducer said, and I'm actually a former law student at Dalhousie now because I wasn't willing to give in to their vaccine mandate. That's right. Freedom is priceless. And all of you out here understand that. Absolutely. And we're on the same page on that one. Like many of you, I have a story. Everyone here has a story. And I'll tell you, we will not give in to discriminatory, authoritarian mandates at all. And I'll tell you, these mandates, no matter what the politicians are saying, no matter what the bureaucrats are saying, they cannot and will not be justified under Section 6 of the Nova Scotia Human Rights Act. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Taking someone's career away or their education away because they're not willing to get an injection is certainly not a reasonable limit on our fundamental human rights. And I'll tell you, everyone out here today, through either political action or legal action or both, we will end all COVID mandates together. That's what I'm talking about. We will get our lives and we will get our freedoms back. Absolutely. Amazing. Now let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, you've all seen it on the fake news, CBC, CTV, Global, all of them, an absolute disgrace. A disgrace to journalism. And I'll tell you, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what Tim Houston says. It doesn't matter what Justin Trudeau, or should I say, Brando says. All right? We are not a small fringe minority. Look around. Look around, everyone. Point the cameras at them. All right? If you want to see the real news, go watch the live streams. Go watch the footage on Ottawa. I was there last weekend, all right? I took hours of footage, totally unfiltered, raw, live footage, and that's the real news, and you all know that. You all know that. We are standing here today, 100% peacefully, united around freedom. We are not the ones going around stealing food, stealing fuel, and other basic human necessities from innocent, peaceful demonstrators. We're not that type. All right? And I'll tell you, it's amazing. If you can go to Ottawa, I highly recommend it. If you have any doubts, put them out of your mind. When you see the thousands and thousands and thousands of blue-collar workers, truckers, farmers, and all other concerned citizens, you will never want to leave. Let me tell you that. Let me tell you that. And I gotta say a little story when I was in Ottawa. I met an amazing gentleman, absolutely amazing gentleman named Mike. All right? 41 years of experience on the job as a trucker based in Nova Scotia. And you know what he told me? He said, "No, I am not leaving until all mandates have been lifted." Look for him on the street.
You guys are not welcome here if you're going to act like that. This is about peace, love, and freedom. If you're going to do anything against peace, love, and freedom,
You should put some shoes on. You're making me nervous.
there's no need.
I gotta say, I couldn't have said that better myself. This gentleman's amazing. And I'll tell you, to wrap up, we're all proud Nova Scotians. But what we're not proud of is what the government has done and treated us like for 2 years like we're second-class citizens. All right? Look at what's happening in Alberta. Look at what's happening in Saskatchewan. That could not have happened without every single person across this country coming together like we are today. The authoritarian agenda is crumbling, ladies and gentlemen. Crumbling. It's all because of us standing together, loud and proud and united. We will not stop until our freedoms are restored, the old ways before this COVID nonsense have been returned for good. So what I have to say,
why is that
let's
there?
keep on trucking, ladies and gentlemen. The people's voices will not be silenced forever. Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to talking about the story tonight. Thank you. Thank you for the pleasure. Love you all. A big open
Do you see any Nazi flags here?
No, man. Okay, but Pat King, he's a white supremacist.
He's one guy. He's one guy out of 10,000.
Can we agree that Pat King is a white supremacist?
I'm not sure. I will not tell you. Hey, I'm not sure, but he's one guy. Do you see a Nazi flag? Do you see a Confederate flag?
Like, what's your problem with me holding a sign that says "Fuck Pat King"?
I don't.
Okay.
Go ahead. But if you're going to get on the stage, that's crossing the line. You're starting to incite violence. Yeah, what does that have to do with it?
Is this rally in support of the rally in Ottawa?
Yes.
Yes. And Pat King, he's the organizer of the rally in Ottawa.
He's one guy.
He's one of the organizers of the rally in Ottawa.
He's one guy. There's 10,000 people there.
All right, so what about the other organizers that are also racist?
That's crazy.
Okay, what about like Benjamin Dyer or whatever the fuck his name is? He's got two conservative flags in his fucking garage.
I've seen thousands of Canadian flags. I don't see him.
Who the hell is he? He organized the rally that you're supporting here.
Well, there's lots of people who support that. I see thousands of Canadian flags in there. There's like one Nazi flag, one Confederate flag.
Yeah, I'm not
and
talking
people
about
wanted to get rid of them.
I'm not talking about the flags. I'm talking about the people that organized the rally.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
They're white supremacists.
No, they're not. Well, the people who were there are.
No, okay, sure. So why aren't the people that are...
Parents, when they have to bring their kids home from school and they can't take their kids to school because school's locked down, and they have to teach 4 of their children or 2 of their children, which is, for some people, that's a lot of work, especially when you have your own job and you're already taking care of your home itself. So doing all those things, like, it takes a strong person, and it's made a big impact for everybody, and I'm sure it has. That's all I have to say.
It's been a very long 2 years, I think, for everyone, but it seems like we're finally starting to come out of it. The sun is coming out for us a little bit. So, thanks for coming out, everyone. It's very much appreciated. We know we put all this together on pretty short notice. So, and I know there was a little bit of confusion today about exactly what we were doing at certain points, and there was a reason for that. You know, sorry for the confusion or any feeling of being deceived, but we figured that a few minutes walk would just make the day all that much better if some people didn't know exactly what we were doing today. Trust me, it wasn't about you guys. So I have a video that unfortunately we were not able to get our video equipment in here today. So the video is from Dr. Hodgkinson with the Ottawa crew. All right, and it is specifically for Nova Scotia. It's a 3-minute video. I am going, unfortunately, I can't play it for you guys today. Like I say, we had a plan to get all sorts of equipment in here, but today the Halifax police were a worthy adversary. So we'll give them their due, but we will be posting it on the Facebook group, which is Nova Scotians for Freedom, as well as we'll post a link to it on the Twitter feed, which is at NS for Freedom. So keep an eye. Okay. All right, it sounds like we got the audio ready. So do you guys want to hear Dr. Hodgkinson speak to Nova Scotia? Just 1 second, we're just getting it ready. All right, they're still getting the audio ready for Dr. Hodgkinson's video, but we do have a video ready for Major Stephen Chidowski. I don't know if any of you have seen the video. But he is a very experienced military officer, and he has some wonderful words that really encapsulate the situation we're in. So we have that ready for you, so without further ado, Major Stephen Chidowski.
I have served Canada in the Canadian Armed Forces for 20 plus years. I hold a first-class honors degree in political science, and I have held several Army command positions. I have an urgent message for all Canadians. For nearly 2 years, our own elected government officials have been using the bullying tactics of fear, intimidation, coercion, and financial and physical violence against us to gain compliance for certain repeated medical procedures. We tell our children that bullying is wrong. We know it to be so. Yet we allow our leaders to do this to us. They have knowingly and repeatedly violated the highest laws of the land in the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, as well as other signed international human rights agreements. Canadians have been lulled into believing that the same government who suppresses your freedoms in the name of safety will one day just reward you back with your freedoms if you just comply to ever-changing rules and health orders. That, folks, is the very definition of tyranny, not democracy. Humans are inherently free. Kings and queens and government cronies can't give you your basic human rights. They are naturally yours. They can't be given, they can't be taken. They can only be suppressed. In the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, Queen Elizabeth is recognizing in law our fundamental freedoms. The federal and provincial governments of Canada have chosen, through a well-planned and orchestrated set of measures, to trick and fool and scare you, the very people who elected them and pay their salaries, into complying with the suppression of our basic human rights. They have knowingly betrayed you and me under the lie of safety. This past Remembrance Day, as I stood in front of the military cenotaph in Fredericton to honor my comrades who gave their lives for others' freedom, I overheard the Premier of New Brunswick, Premier Higgs, and our Member of Parliament, Jenica Atwin, tell members of the public how special it was that these brave members of the military gave their lives for their freedom. That same freedom that these very liars and deceivers are actively working right now to suppress. I stood there, a soldier of nearly 21 years, as a senior officer in the Canadian Army, as a veteran of Afghanistan, participating in Op Medusa, the largest combat operation for Canada since the Korean War, where I watched my own brave comrades fight and get injured and die. But I also stood there as a person who hasn't taken the COVID-19 injection. The irony, so even though I serve this country, and it has been an honor to do so, an absolute honor, like many thousands of Canadians who choose body autonomy and pro-choice, I am unable to share in the same privileges now, like eating at a restaurant, going out in public to an event, or even traveling across provinces to see my child. This is happening to many others. These government traitors to freedom are suppressing the rights of the very people they claim to honor, and it made me sick to my stomach. These Canadian governments are now focused on our children with a medical genetic therapy that is now proven by repeated medical journals studies not to prevent COVID infection nor to prevent its transmission to others. For our children, serious illness and death is non-existent from COVID-19 unless your child is chronically unhealthy to begin with. Yet the toxin that is in this injection will have serious, life-damaging, permanent effects to your child's health immunity. That fact of natural T-cell and DNA damage has also come to light recently by medical scientist studies. I am calling on the medical community to put an immediate halt on these children's injections until the Canadian public can receive the accurate, truthful data from these COVID injection injuries that have already occurred. The Canadian public has a right to be able to make informed medical choices, especially for their little children. To tell them repeatedly it is safe and effective and not give them that choice is a crime, and it's also genocide. The media and government must put an immediate halt to all scientific medical censorship and the silencing of health professionals who do not comply with your agenda, as well as hear from COVID injection injury victims. The Canadian public has a right to hear from those in our communities and families who have been injured by this procedure. I am calling on my military and police comrades, all of you, all of us who have sworn a personal oath to protect our family, our friends, and our community, to now stand up and protect your loved ones against this government-forced medical tyranny. You chose to serve because you wanted to give back to your community. And instead, the government has turned your love for community and your loyalty against you, and you are now a weapon against the very people you love. Brothers and sisters, you can't be forever changing indiscriminate government measures which use fear and violence, and also be for your loved ones and for freedom. You have to choose. I am asking you to choose your family and your community. This is why you serve. And this is your moment to be a hero for your loved ones. They deserve the truth. They deserve to be protected. I am also calling on all Canadians to join in solidarity together. Freedom and love for our community. Freedom to choose who you want to be, where you want to live, what you want to experience and learn, what your spirituality is and what you want to practice, who you want to love. What you want to put in your own bodies is the foundation of our democracy in Canada. We cannot let freedom die with this generation. May God forever bless the free citizens of Canada.
What's going on, man? My name's Lee Baker. I'm with Nova Scotians United. We're the new provincial political party. And I ain't gonna get all political with you guys today, but we're gonna fight for you guys like nobody has ever fought before. Woo! This is a big crowd, isn't it? It's a big, big crowd. You guys are all incredible.
How are you?
Thank you. Before I get started, I would like to first acknowledge that we are on unceded Mi'kmaq territory today. Thank you guys very much. How about the organizers, what? These organizers, you guys all knew who you are. Some of them are a little cryptic, but these people value our freedoms more than anybody that I know. And I think it's time we give them one big round of applause. Woo! That was awesome. Our people are always here early. You know what they told me today? That those fake news people, you guys know who I'm talking about, right? The fake news people were here hours before this started, taking pictures. What do you guys think the tabloid headlines are going to read tomorrow? 11 or 12 fringe angry minorities tried to protest outside of a grocery store. It's very sad, eh? It's very sad what these people do. Very sad. If only the press just did their job, right? They're like vampires, these people. I bet you they don't look in the mirror in the mornings. It's a state of emergency, there's a mirror. Anyway, they label us anti-this and anti-that, right? Are we anti-anything?
No. Anti-mandate! Anti-mandate!
I'm anti-criminal political regimes. What about that? Put that in the tabloids tomorrow. You know, the fake news in their tabloids, they can say whatever they want because we know in our hearts, we love our rule of law. These three simple words, right? Rule of law. I wonder if they hear that up there on the street. Our movement, your movement, remember this is all your movement. I don't have a podium today, so I'm having a hard time keeping track of where I am. Our movement also greatly respects our brave men and women of law enforcement, right? Woo! And we thank you for keeping us safe from the Antifa or wherever they went. I'm going off script, Dan. Morgan's not here. But you know, this respect is some pretty serious business, isn't it? I see it there. This respect's really serious business. It goes two ways, doesn't it? And I hope you guys are listening up there, so I'm going to say it louder. This respect business goes two ways, and if you want this to continue, y'all better start doing your jobs. Do you hear that? Many of these officers don't even know the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, the Non-Discrimination Act, or other bodies of law. Get with it, boys. It's getting a little ridiculous by now, I would say. You want to know who else we respect? Our veterans. We have the utmost respect for you, our veterans, and our service members. We respect the great sacrifice you have made, and we will repay you, and we will not back down. Woo! We will never back down, stray, waver, change course, or change our position. Freedom is our inherent right from birth. Freedom! You can't keep track here. Woo! This is the hill we will die defending. Go back and tell that to Tiny Tim Houston. All good things are worth fighting for, and our freedom of bodily autonomy is right at the very top. Woo! We also cherish our educators and our healthcare workers, don't we? They have been on the front lines of this pandemic, and our hearts are with you, and we pray for you. And we pray for that your families stay safe. We are not disrespectful or hateful people. We spread love. That's right. Our movement, first and foremost, is based on love. And we love our educators and our healthcare workers, don't we? Speaking of educators, let's acknowledge today the parents who have made the sacrifice in order to pull their children from schools and educate them from home. This is not an easy task, let me tell you. Emily homeschools our children, and it's a big job. It's a big, big job. We love our homeschoolers! Woo! To all those whom have lost their jobs for non-compliance, our hearts are bleeding for you. And trust me when I say, you are still our heroes! One way or another, we will get you back to work and compensated, and it will not be through vaccinations. Today, united, we gather to offer a simple message. Our values and our freedoms are not to be dictated or given back in ridiculous phases. We are Canadians who simply demand the freedom to decide the dangers we as individuals are willing to take. Right? Fresh air is our right, as is being able to conduct and operate our businesses in any manner we choose. Families have the right to interact without government oversight, mandates, rules, or regulations. If Trudeau and the JM-TAM want to hang out in glory holes in the winter with 3 masks on, is it for us to judge? But let's get this clear. These are unacceptable and disgusting recommendations coming from our government. I've heard a lot of horror stories about the trauma Nova Scotians have been through over the past going on 2 years. Here's just one example that's touched me right here. A friend of mine was telling me about his mother, who was a resident in a nursing home here in Nova Scotia, but is of sound mind. She's just like you and I. She can hold a conversation. You know, she's normal. She has made the decision to remain unvaccinated, and in doing so, she has been subject to essentially solitary confinement, where there is the potential, whenever there is a potential of an exposure at the residence. Right now, as we speak, it's been over a week since she has been put in quarantine. This means that she has to go without bathing. Except for a weekly sponge bath, and she has to be completely isolated from her friends and family, except for visits on the other side of her windows and doors. If that was your parents, how would you feel? Even though we know that we have the proof that both vaccinated and unvaccinated can spread the virus, the vaccinated are allowed to roam free while she suffers alone. If one person tests positive, they can lock your loved ones down at any moment in time. This is Nova Scotia Health Authority's own rules. This is a horrible, inhumane way to treat those who have paid into the system their whole life. The people whom encouraged, allowed, or participated in these acts need to be held accountable. I know you're listening, my friend. We will fight for you and your mom, and we will fight for all elderly Nova Scotians. This is unacceptable. We are all united here today because we need to save our country, aren't we? Don't we? Never before would I thought Canadians, the so-called freest people in the world, would be living under medical tyranny. This needs to end. Enough is enough. Say it with me. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. This is a pandemic of government gross criminal negligence at minimum. When the hospitals and ICU admissions see far less people than years prior, there is clearly no pandemic. When all over mortality is down from previous years, you can clearly see there is no pandemic, right? The majority of Canadians have taken their shots, and now it's time to move off from these authoritarian measures. We are ready to live with COVID, and we will not hear otherwise. Our elected members, along with one-term Tim Houston, have handed over all policy making to public health. This is a dereliction of their duties. Public health is a non-governmental organization that is under globalist directions. They have no right to set policies for Nova Scotians. Public health has no right to dictate what businesses can and can't stay open or who they are allowed to serve. The previous government did not respect us, so we elected a new government, hoping for something new, but what we got was worse. What we got was a globalist trained premier. Woo! He did the dirty work for BlackRock while in Bermuda, laundering their trillions. Well, in Bermuda, there is no doubt. Woo! Me, woo, gee, woo!
I thought you were sick!
He could be hiding in a house next door. Okay, guys, I was real serious here for a second. Guys broke it. Anyways, he laundered trillions for BlackRock down in Bermuda, blah, 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 blah. Well, Tim, you guys got to get me started again here. BlackRock, with the help of Tim, this sounds a little funny because I'm skipping the sentence above it. Maybe I'll just skip this one too. I will. These last 2 years, flattening the curve was the first shots across the bow, directly into the arms of Canadians and your children. This is just the beginning phase of their sick and terrible plan. What Justin Trudeau and our compromised premiers have done to this country is a horror story. It really is a horror story of mega proportions. In the last 2 years, this corrupted political machine is attempting to turn our country into a third world country. Inflation is increasing at the fastest rates we've ever seen. Gas prices are astronomical. Supply chains are broken. Suicides are surging. Marriages and families are failing. Domestic abuse increasing. And the mental health of our people and our children is rapidly deteriorating. I'm telling you, it's these people. These people just do not care. And they partner with people who care even less, and who corporations want to do us all harm. You guys want to change the topic a little bit? What about the truckers, huh? Woo! Did y'all think I was going to get up here rambling on, not say anything about our truckers? These great women and men and women, these truckers, they woke up the world, didn't they? Wow. Didn't many say these truckers would accomplish nothing? The fake news tabloid said this was a fringe minority. Trudeau said this fringe minority was racist and misogynist. What is misogynist anyways, guys? Maybe I should use words us of lesser intelligence can understand here. I'm joking, I know what it is, I do. But anyways, what I'm confused about is this. This allegedly small fringe group of racist, hate-filled people turned into a state of emergency really quick, didn't it? So this is, in fact, is it a small fringe group, or is it something imaginable, requiring a state of emergency? Really makes me wonder here, eh, guys? Maybe they sort of mismanaged this whole COVID thing, too.
Only 2 weeks to flatten the curve!
It has taken the Liberals 6 years to divide and segregate our country. These truckers broke that in 2 weeks, uniting the people of our great country like we have never seen. Not only have they brought hope to Canadians, they have sparked a movement around the world that is now a raging fire of freedom that could never be extinguished. I'm so grateful you all took on this mission for us, and we love you. The sacrifice you and your families have made will not go unnoticed. I am also super in debt to these truckers because they have shown the people that we hold the power to move the levers of change. The only people brave enough to stand up to authoritarianism is us. The only movement strong enough to defeat this evil is yours. Only the Nova Scotian people can remove this corrupt political machine. United, we are doing this for you and Nova Scotian people and for the movement, and together our movement will take back your freedoms. We will do this for you. We will do this so our children can have a bright future. The children deserve a future where they can grow strong, healthy, and happy, where their parents are not stressed out and in fear, one where they're not worried about being forced into medical experiments. We will take back our freedom so every single child can have the chance to grow and see every single one of their dreams come true. Woo! I love you all. Thank you very much.
Just 1 second.
These truckers that started this whole thing going on. I got some truckers on the road, family that made sure that they were in line, making a positive effort to make this stuff happen. So, hey, I'd like to thank everybody for showing up.
Okay, guys, I want to really thank you for your patience. We've gone over time here a little bit, but that's okay. We didn't get started till a little later anyways. Again, thank you for waiting. It's starting to get a little cool, though. So we're going to try to wrap things up. We do have that video ready, the 3-minute video from Dr. Hodgkinson in Ottawa that he really wants Nova Scotians to see. So that's queued up right now. We're going to get that playing for you. Then we'll have a couple final words and I'll say goodbye to you all. And we'll let you know what to look for in the future and for the rest of the evening. Thank you.
Okay, so we just came off the stage here in Ottawa where we gave speeches with Premier Beckford about the mandates and why they must drop. And this is Dr. Roger Hodgkinson. Okay, so we just came off the stage here in Ottawa where we gave speeches with Premier Beckford about the mandates and why they must drop. And this is Dr. Roger Hodgkinson, Dr. Paul Alexander. And look, you all face the same situation there. These mandates have no scientific basis and they must come down. There's no difference today between the vaccinated and the unvaccinated person. The mandates are punitive, it's suffering people, and we're calling on the Chief Public Health Officer there as well as the Premier to drop these mandates, and not only the mandates, but the emergency powers that underpin them, the emergency powers must be lifted.
Yes, these politicians have backed themselves into a corner, and they're now asking the general population to potentially lay down their lives to get them off the hook that they created. That's absolutely pathetic, it's draconian, and it should stop immediately. As Dr. Alexander said, there's absolutely no basis in medical science for any of the actions that have been taken, including the vaccines. The vaccines were unneeded, they're experimental, they're not working, and they're killing people. Furthermore, the medical officer of health of your province and the premier should be ashamed of themselves for introducing these things on the population without any medical science whatsoever. It's pure political bravado, and people are dying as we speak. Pregnant women are being injected as we speak. Children are being injected with things as we speak. Children are going to be dying on the high altar of these politicians. It will not work. Get a grip on yourselves. For God's sake, take these mandates off.
Yes, and I end also by saying that the public health officer and the premier must get contemporary with the science. And the science is clear. We just published a paper in Brownstone with 42 studies that has shown us that with the Delta variant, which now is almost supplanted by the Omicron, and with Omicron dominant, the vaccine does not work. I need to say it as clearly as I can. The vaccines have failed, and they're not safe. They do not protect the upper airways. We must understand that if a vaccine does not stop transmission, then it has failed. It has failed to do its job. You cannot Okay, so we just came off the stage here in Ottawa, where we give...
Hi guys, the video is, there's like another 30 seconds. It doesn't seem to want to load, but we're going to post it, like I said, on our Facebook page, Facebook group. We'll post it on Scotia Mass Against the Pass as well, so everyone can see it. So just keep an eye out for that. With that, my fellow organizer here is going to say a few words, and then I will end it off here shortly. So once again, thank you so much for your patience and for being here. One sec.
Wasn't really an organizer, I was a lead convoy person, but I guess you can call it that now. Guys, thank you all for coming out. What I really would ask you guys to do is to kind of take a look around you. If there's any garbage on the ground, we want to leave Grand Parade just as clean as it was as we came in, so the city has no reason to say we did anything wrong here today. We were allowed to peacefully protest. They allowed it. They kept us safe. Thank you, police. Thank you, paramedics. Thank you, Nova Scotia. Our voices are being heard. Tim Houston, listen to your province.
All right, everyone. It was a really fantastic turnout today. It was better than we could have imagined. Just a few final words. I want to thank our speakers. I want to thank the folks who remote spoke from Ottawa, especially. It was great to get their support. And everyone, I want you guys to think long-term here, because I represent a group called Nova Scotians for Freedom, and we are looking at the long haul. It's not going to be enough to just drop the passports and just drop the mandates. I think we can see that they are cracking now. They're going down everywhere, but that's not enough. We need accountability fundamentally here. We cannot allow politicians who do not see past the next election to carry on the way that they have been. Quickly, I'm not going to get too far into it, but I used to work in healthcare here in the city doing staffing for the hospitals. This was about 12 years ago. It was a nightmare then. It has not gotten better. This was preventable. From the very beginning, Nova Scotians and Canadians and people around the world have been more than willing to do their part to protect their neighbors during this pandemic. We have been more than willing to do what has been necessary to ease the stress on our medical system, even knowing that it shouldn't have been that way in the first place. But now it has been 2 long years of us helping to flatten the curve, to give our politicians more time to shore up the system, and now that's not enough for them. Now they want our eternal compliance. We're not giving any more. We have given 2 years of our lives, 2 years of missed birthdays and holidays, 2 years of the elderly trapped in their institutions, separated by glass if they're lucky from their loved ones. We are angry, but we are not anti-anything. We want to unite this province for the best of everyone. We want everyone to experience freedom. Not the freedom to hurt people, not the freedom to control other people, the freedom to go about their lives as we always have done and we should do. And most especially, the freedom of children to be children. So don't despair, and don't think that we're just going to let them pander to us and give us what we're asking for and hope that we'll go away and be quiet. Because that's not going to happen this time or ever again if we have anything to say about it. Finally, we had originally planned to go to Enfield after this meeting. Unfortunately, the Halifax Police Department was very effective in stopping our lead trucks and our pilot vehicles. That having been said, if any of you still want to go to Enfield, we will not have anyone leading, but we certainly encourage you folks to convoy out, honk your horns, show people what we're standing for, show people that we are full of love and smiles and happiness, and all we want is to share that freely with our fellow Nova Scotians. All right? A little honking might be inconvenient for some, but nowhere near what we have just been through. So, and if anyone has a plan to continue on to Ottawa after Enfield, I don't know, I had heard some rumors. We wish you well if you do. Please represent Nova Scotia honorably, peacefully, and do us all proud. We know you will if you're going, and send us lots of footage back. All right, folks, that has been our day. We are going to start closing down the shop. Thank you so much, and we will see you all again soon. We'll try to give a little more warning for the next big event. Thank you all.